Okay. That was wonderful.
So let's end this American adaptation of a British fantasy novel with a bunch of Japanese
Pussy you
names.
go crowbar.
Lester Abrams. There's a strong Japanese name I've ever seen.
Abrams.
Minoru Kishida.
Yushi Yamada. Jesus. Scammer all over again. And Tom Clack.
Tom Clack.
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 Lois
Lois.
Winter.
Hey, Lois, want to make a new Hobbit movie?
All
Are you
about
ru-
that bass. No ranking.
Distributed by Warner Brothers. We own everything till Disney buys us.
Wasn't that? I just love how and I mean this in the best way. Or in a honestly positive way. I love how unspectacular that was. I mean, like it's light, it's unpretentious, matter of fact, and cute. You know,
Yes.
and it's not a major unfulfilling commitment like the Peter Jackson movies for me.
It's not trying to be bigger than it needs to be. It's not trying. It's in no way like big and bloated, trying to be like the greatest thing ever. It's just, it's like it does what it needs to do, and it does it well.
Yeah. And Doomzilla says that was a pretty good film, and Goji She says this is still a very fun movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like especially nowadays with Hollywood, it's like everything needs to be big and bombastic and over the top. But it's like, no, sometimes just, you don't need to be like, the biggest, the bestest thing ever. Sometimes it works just to do what you like, not minimum. I don't want to say the minimum because they really went all out. I feel like these guys, all that they did, but it's like, they knew when to hold back. And so it's like, they didn't do too little. They didn't do too much. They did what they needed to do to tell the story that they wanted to do. And, they want to tell a simple story, and they told it. And I had a lot of fun with it.
Exactly. They need to have faith in their audience's attention span. I get we love the occasional explosions and scenes of battle and special effects out the ass, but at the same time, our attention spans aren't as short as you perceive them, Hollywood.
We're not hobbits.
You're just lazy and need to stop this laziness or you're going to continue to make stagnant movies.
So now it's funny, I really rewatching that. It really did kind of bring a lot of warm, nostalgic memories, and it is generally a good movie too. I've gotten to that age where I can kind of separate my nostalgia from general quality. Oddly though, I would argue that it does a very good job telling the story at 78 minutes. But like a lot of Rankin Bass projects that were adapting pre-existing material, like The Stingiest Man on Town, which was their Christmas special. Based on the Christmas Carol, based on a musical version of the Christmas Carol, I felt that maybe they could have afforded just a little bit extra to flesh out the story a little more. Like at least move it up to 80 minutes or give it like maybe the full 90-minute treatment for some extra character beats here and there. And that also kind of reminds me of a point that Goji She says here about Bjorn, a character from the original book and from the Peter Jackson version that didn't end up in this version, which is totally okay because Bjorn,
because she was too busy making music.
Nothing compares to her, Raph.
Right. No, not that, not Bjork, Bjorn. Although she was,
that's what I said.
Although she did get eaten by a giant bear, so there is a very close.
And she was married to Space Ghost.
Oh yeah, that's right. Why aren't you home? Well, dear, I'm busy hosting the show. So, wow, Andres, deep cut there. But no, Bjorn, the shapeshifter who could transform to a giant bear, he's not in this version, but oddly enough, there was a adaptation of a book version of this special that featured a whole bunch of artwork, mostly comprised of concept art for the production, and was very thick and heavy for a children's book of the day. It actually showed a version of Bourne in it, who was just a very tall man with a long beard and seemed extremely friendly despite his fierce reputation as a shapeshifter. And of course, Bjorn is a much more pleasant character in the original book too. But granted, being half bear, they have to kind of walk around the fact that they don't want to present all the dwarves at once. So there's a comical thing where Gandalf is like, "Hey Bjorn, can I introduce you to a friend? Oh, I've never seen a dwarf before. Well, guess what? There's a second dwarf. Really?" and goes on and until Bjorn is like, "Well, I might as well have you all for dinner. Dinner guests."
And then he went on to publish his own book, much like Bilbo, called There and Born Again.
What about was Radagast the Brown never in the novel?
Okay, no. Radagast the Brown was a character from the extended appendixes of J.R.R. Tolkien, and he's mentioned quite. I think he plays a more significant role in the Silmarillion. But yeah, it's one of those characters who it would be like if you made a version.
He was just shoved in for no reason other than fan service in the Jackson movies.
Yeah, it is based on basically when Gandalf said he had to go away, he went off to fight the quote-unquote necromancer, who was just an off-screen villain.
Which was not mentioned in this adaptation.
Not at all.
Okay.
But Peter Jackson and his wife and other writing partner, sorry, I forgot what her name is, unfortunately. They went into the long notes of Peter Jackson and the actual official Lord of the Rings appendixes, which of course was information.
Appendages.
Yeah, which was information Tolkien himself wrote about that kind of fleshed out the characters beyond what they appeared in the books themselves. And they basically took that and extrapolated into an extreme fanfic battle where all the wizards and Galadriel of the elves teamed up against the necromancer and early versions of the Nazgul known as the Dragon Guard. But no, Radagast the Brown was definitely a minor character taken to an extreme in the movie version. So Adrian Baker brings up a somewhat disturbing fact that the funny thing about the dwarves, J.R. Tolkien based them off Jewish people. So where did the Scottish dwarf stereotype come from? I don't know. To be fair, though, compared to a lot of fictional characters based on Jewish people from old media, the dwarves are definitely like the least offensive, all things considering. So I'm not trying to defend it, but still.
Well, what do you think, Brayton?
Well, I made a reference to that at the beginning of the movie, but yeah, I would say most offensive, Pa Grape from VeggieTales. Least offensive, yeah, I would say, okay, the dwarves from whatever.
Mm-hmm. So.
Dwarves from whatever. we're on the same wavelength there. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, another man who hates Jews.
Okay, so enough of the
I'm talking about Walt Disney.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
I'd rather you reference the other guy.
Jim.
At least Walt Disney's talented.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I meant to speak right there.
That's okay. No, it's not a live watch with the four of us without one of your patented trademark yawns wins. Yay! So, anyways, so oh god, what am I? Oh yeah, Jim Baldessari says completely agree. I was thinking the same thing in reference to how much everyone enjoyed the movie. Goji Shea says, I would be down for a Ralph Bashki Lord of the Rings version in the future if that's something you'd be interested in doing, Raph. I'm on
a Raph Bashki thon.
Well, both of you seem to have similar mentalities.
You see, I had 493 people on this live stream and they weren't working hard enough. Also, throw in some babes in the movie. I don't care. It's a family picture.
Ralph Bashki.
Okay, so
he'll have a million misses, but eventually he'll have one swing that's really good.
See, I drew Schmog. It was worth all those Techno Slime Girl fan art pieces, right? Right, guys, right? Ren and Stimpy.
You had nothing to do with Ren and Stimpy except Firehouse Dog 2.
Oh no, that is true.
Oh no.
Anyone want to see me take a dump?
No. Okay.
Oh
He
my
said
God.
that. He said that.
Right, Laura.
In Ren and Stimpy.
Right, Laura, in her typical savageness, says, "Are they all dead yet? No, we're still alive. None of us."
I'm not dead yet.
Although Hans
I'm
Conriy,
alright.
yes, Hans
I'm
Conriy.
gonna go for a walk.
I got better.
And then we just bash all of you after you slid me a fives. Okay.
Now, that movie was that movie. It's the fun experimental one night stand as opposed to a trilogy of a loveless marriage with the
No,
version.
that is painfully accurate.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and you know what? This is another thing that I think it also extends to other forms of media, when it comes to like movies, video games, even, where it feels like everything needs to be like AAA status, and very few times do we ever. Oh, this is actually another thing that, I'm blanking on his name. Chris Stuckman, YouTube film critic, mentioned how there's not a lot of like medium budget movies or medium scale movies. Everything is either like super low budget indie or crazy AAA, like multi-million, like crazy like AAA budget stuff. There's never stuff like in the middle. And I feel like The Hobbit, this adaptation of The Hobbit, perfectly exemplifies, mid-level filmmaking, I guess. And yeah, I cannot say enough how this does a perfect job at just telling a simple yet fun, imaginative, concise story. And I really appreciate it for that. And I feel like, really solid pacing, and just, getting to the fucking point of it all is something that's pretty lost in movies today. Everything's got to be 2 hours, 2.5 hour slogs.
I think the robot is really regretting his time with Peter Jackson and his Seven Dwarf Friends.
Here's the thing. Watching this movie now, I finally understand why Tolkien fans were so disappointed with the I almost said Ralph Bakshi, Peter Jackson movies. Oh, I know Dylan's not a fan of Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings, but yeah, I finally understand
Peter,
why.
How you betray me like this? You need to see American Pop, the greatest movie in the world. I had 1 billion animators working on it, and they still didn't get it done in time.
But yeah, I finally understand now why people were so disappointed with the Peter Jackson movies. Just because, yeah, looking back, they do feel very bloated. And even though I had a lot of fun with those extra scenes, like the giant rock golems, they were, for all intents and purposes, unnecessary additions. Every single addition felt like it was just padding just to make a bigger movie to sell more product. It wasn't about telling a story. It was just, we want a trilogy like Lord of the Rings, so we're going to artificially extend it to make a trilogy. And seeing the movie here, seeing a version of the story in its purest form, most distilled form, it's like, yeah, you don't need to do that at all.
It's okay. I'm going to read this quick comic because it actually ties into my thoughts on the Hobbit trilogy and what you just said. Goji Shea says, "I don't mind seeing Radagast in The Hobbit. I thought he was a fun character, and it helps that he was played by the Seventh Doctor himself, Sylvester McCoy, or as Sylvester McCoy would say, the real McCoy." But anyways, but the funny thing is,
Stop with the bongo drums.
Yeah, man, Brother Theodore's coming in. Ah!
Yeah. Oh, Jim Baldessari has a great comment just now. He said there's something to be said about having the discipline to know when to hold back when telling a story.
Oh yeah, definitely. So,
and yeah, I've seen many occasions where people just go on and on and on with their story and end up like going nowhere, despite having. It's kind of funny. There are certain people who want to tell big stories, but they don't have the means to, so they must condense their stories. And on the other end of the spectrum, there are people with all the resources in the world to tell the perfect story, and then only for them to just waste so much time, money, and resources telling a story that goes on for way too long and ultimately comes out very bloated and pretty much like a waste of time.
Yeah, or my problem with the Harry Potter films, no cat joke, Brayton. That they have all these
Crookshank's Wrath.
Shut up, asswipe. They all have these incredible oh god, what was I gonna say? all this wealth and all these tools at their disposal, but they give a very underwhelming story that really didn't deserve that much to begin with. So, but no, I was gonna say though, the sad thing about the Peter Jackson Hobbit trilogy is there's a lot of good things inside of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, again, Radagast, he was not needed, but he was played by Sylvester McCoy, and Sylvester McCoy, as usual, did a fantastic job with what he was given. And the sad thing is, though, it's like in a better world, we'd have had a more tightened version of that trilogy. Like, each of those movies really didn't need to be 3 hours long. You could have had, like, a trilogy of really good 2 hour long or 110-minute long movies. And not what's even sadder is they try putting, the best way I can describe it, a square peg in a round hole, or a round hobbit hole, since we're keeping that terrible joke afloat. Is
not a wet, smelly hole.
Yeah, jerk. Wait, stop it.
It's clarifying.
Okay.
That's what he said.
All right, fine. So I'm so sorry, everybody. But
that's what Tolkien said.
I love Hobbit hole.
That's what J.R. Tolkien hates, is a wet and smelly hole.
Oh God. Win, are you okay with this toilet humor we constantly do on these damn live streams?
It's literature. He said it. I meant no toilet humor.
Okay.
It's you dirty-minded fool.
Someone
Dwarf?
is riding that rubber raft all the way down to Smutsville.
Aye.
Though, that being said, I think this is where I dip out. My nausea has not settled.
Okay. Win, thank you so much for joining us where you can. We wish you the best in getting better. But no, your presence here was greatly appreciated. Again, like you're a big fantasy fan. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, watching The Hobbit with you and with Brayton and Andres, of course.
No problem. Thanks
and your smoke alarm.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, and I hope I have that fixed, or am at least in a different location. And if I'm in the same location, I'll see about at least moving to the kitchen where it can't be heard as much.
Quite frankly, I'm looking forward to making the fire alarm a new character in the future title cards we do. Hi, folks.
It'll be my pleasure.
Oh God, what have I done?
We got 2 new characters.
What you haven't done, Win.
We got Win's fire alarm, Smokey, and Brayton the Fawn.
Okay, you guys have a good night.
All right,
all right. Take care.
Take care, Win.
You too.
Happy holidays.
So, okay, so it's just the 3 boys.
And she's out of there.
Do you think the whole talk sort of amped up her nausea?
No. No, she just had a slight case of food poisoning, but hopefully she'll get better.
Oh
but
my God.
She was a real trooper for hanging in there best
Do you
she
think
can.
she wanted you to share that, Ralph?
Well, I didn't say exactly what it was. No, I did. Damn it. I'm sorry, Win, in the future. But anyways, yeah, but no, she's... Okay, I should have said she's feeling under the weather and she had to leave, so...
You're good.
Yeah, that... And of course, Brayton had to throw in one Win impression. You do that
Hold on. You're good.
Okay, but yeah, no, I know how
we only do it out of love, Win.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but I can relate because we did an episode of Pull the Ultra Trigger where I was suffering from an extreme ailment, and yeah, it was the episode where Gubira made his appearance again. So I had insult to injury. Not only did I have to see that kaiju again, I was also suffering miserably, and it kind of showed in the audio. So.
By the way, Raph, did you get that link I showed you for that new Ultraman comic that has Gubira again?
God. Let it go.
I was like, guess what? Your boy is back in comic form.
And he's a Pokemon,
He's
too.
back in comic form and Pog.
Damn it, Millhouse. Nobody likes you. Go in the tent.
Oh.
Let's see. In the comments, Laura said there could have been 2 really good movies, not 3 boring-ass walking simulators. Jim Baldessari says, "Are there any particular fan edits of the Hobbit movies that really stand out as superior to the Jackson movies?"
That's not a bad.
I don't know, but I'd like to know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing I was going to say about the Hobbit trilogy. Okay, so as you can see with this animated movie, and of course with the original book itself, and one of the things that I love about Tolkien's, I keep saying his name wrong.
Tolkien.
Smeog.
Smeog. Smeog.
I think you're Tolkien too long to get this bit over with, Raph.
Asswipe. I'm sorry. Why am I calling everyone asswipe when I should call you holes? Anyways, Brayton liked that joke. So.
It's a bad Hobbit of his.
Oh, you get a pun sticker, Andres. So, you too, Brayton. So everyone gets a pun sticker.
Elf you.
Smog off. Damn it.
Yeah, you're right. No. See, that is because due to your own Smaug behavior.
All right, better. No, okay, so the thing I like about Tolkien's work, and which is very understated and overlooked, is that he had this really down-to-earth kind of pleasant melancholy about a lot of his work. It's like the fantasy characters are still wild fantasy characters from an ancient world, but they talk normally like British folks just gathering together for a nice picnic. That's why there was a lot of...
Unless you're being voiced by an American drunk in this movie's case.
I think it worked. It felt more true to Tolkien that his dragon would be that disinterested. No,
that's the one thing I'm not a fan of in this movie. I don't like Smaug's voice.
Okay, so but with you prefer the Benedict Cumberbatch's larger than life camp?
Absolutely.
Okay, so. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
whatever. Take the gold, burglar, my booze.
Ding dongs.
He just sticks out way too much compared to everyone else in the cast.
You know, it's great.
He probably doesn't have any memories of doing this, much like another great drunk.
Cumberbatch's dragon is a elaborate diva, and Richard Boone's dragon is Richard Boone.
They should have just if they had the technology to put a live action Richard Boone in there with like a little dragon beanie on, laying amongst the gold.
You know what?
That would have been everything.
Oh my! Now I want to do a picture of just like a drunken Rankin Bass version of Smaug at the saloon, just drinking a beer, like whatever.
With shades on.
Oh yeah.
To hide his hangover from the previous night.
I don't know. I like both versions of Smaug. I just think this one needs a little more love. So design works though. At least we can agree on that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but no, the thing about J.R.R. Tolkien though, his work had a melancholy, down to earth feel to it. Like a lot of the funny dialogue sequences between dwarves and hobbits sound no better than like a 1960s British comedy. It's like, no, you go do it. I'm always doing all this. So, and the Peter Jackson films do touch upon that a little bit, like the Lord of the Rings extended edition. I appreciate those films for showing the kind of lighter, more humorous side of Tolkien's work and a lot of the character action happening between. But unfortunately, The Hobbit kind of got rid of a lot of that clever human and character interactions It's funny, the Hobbit trilogy for me feels like somebody's Cliff Notes of the Lord of the Rings films taken to an extreme so-called epic level. Hence the reason where, I love the fact that, yeah, they went crazy and added the stone giants, which, again, is completely inaccurate to the original book. It was just a quick mention of trolls in the distance having fun with the rain, as opposed to these gigantic monsters. But what sucks is, I think that scene would have been a lot better had they played it with a bit of dark humor, where, yeah, the stone giants aren't fighting, they are literally playing with each other, and our poor dwarves and hobbit heroes are trapped on the giants, but it's the equivalent. It would be better if it was played like an epic version of a Harold Lloyd stunt work than what we got with this weird Disney ride with two monsters fighting to the death. And of course, it also ties to, don't you notice that rock monsters in Hollywood are always so ridiculously brittle? It kind of ruins the purpose of them being elementals. But yeah, I do feel that the Hobbit film definitely needed to be shorter, needed to be tightened up, and needed to focus more on the adventure humor elements that made the original Hobbit and Tolkien's work in general work so well, as opposed to a lot of the nonsense they throw in, like the tragic love triangle, something Evangeline Lilly desperately wanted out of after starring in 8 seasons of Lost. She famously said, "Please don't put me in another movie with a love triangle. Guess what? These 2 movies are now 3, and you're in love triangle. Damn it!" So I'm paraphrasing what she said in interviews after the fact. So, But yeah, it's just kind of a wait. It's a shame too. I hope in the future somebody attempts to try to do another version of The Hobbit, and one that keeps more true to the spirit of the original book. Not exactly a direct adaptation. I think this version does pretty well, despite leaving out some major details. Like again, Gandalf knowing Bilbo as a child and revisiting him later in his adult life, which I think is one of the most hilarious things. Like I said, like I compared it earlier, it'd be like if an uncle visited his nephew back when he was 5 years old. Nephew says, "I want to be a fire truck and a firefighter," and then it's like many years later, when that little nephew is now an adult, the uncle comes back. All right, I got you a job as a firefighter. What? How could you forget that? So, and considering that Gandalf is an immortal being, it adds more to the humor there. But yeah, it's a shame. It's great we have this version of The Hobbit. It's just a shame what happened with the Peter Jackson Hobbit movies. And again, a lot of that goes into a lot of the behind the scenes mayhem that happened. As some people have joked, it was a battle of 5 studios that really kind of screwed over the movie. But yeah, I think Guillermo del Toro would have done a way better job with his original plan of doing it like a kind of fairy tale golden sheen version that would eventually evolve into a tale of loss of innocence that would give us the Lord of the Rings that we know. So a transition between a fairy tale fantasy story into the darker, grittier things that we know from Peter Jackson's original trilogy. So what about you, Brayton? What do you got to say other than some comical quip that's going to be less than a sentence long?
Yeah, give Adventureland your business, fellow Iowans. They're hurting. I actually never went to Adventureland, but the commercials would play constantly here. Like, and they were filmed like in the, it had to be late 80s or early 90s, but they'd never like reshoot new commercials. They just used the ones from there. So you'd see like women with big hair, and it was very apparent the period.
I lost my kid to the death circle.
And then the music, come on over to Adventureland. Ba, ba, ba. Death awaits. Yeah.
Whack.
Okay, you should really check out the documentary that there's a documentary on HBO Max or Netflix, I believe, about Adventureland. But
yeah. What was it called? Lawsuit theme park or class action park.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, and then of course, Defunctland has a really good shorter documentary about Adventureland
Action Park.
Yeah, Action Park and all the horrific things that happened there too. So, okay,
that's all I got.
Yeah, and Jim says I'm in New Jersey, and that was the case with Action Park.
Okay. Sorry, Laura, no deaths happening tonight, says Goji Shea. I agree with that. So, wow, when Laura gets annoyed, she wishes everyone to die.
Thank you very much, Laura.
Yeah, class Action Park. Yeah, okay. So, but no, Brayton, what did you think of this special?
I just said when it was over, I really like it. And yeah, it's concise and light. I wouldn't go as far to call The Hobbit, it's an important, piece of literature. It's not like a coffee table book or something, but it's a light read. And even though I hadn't had the chance to, I read it in middle school, and it resonated with me in a fun adventure way that even to this day, none of the movies, none of the Jackson movies from either trilogy have. It's not too self-serious. It's a fun fantasy tale, and yeah, it gets the message across. A lot of musical numbers, a lot of fun music, and yeah, even the Misty Mountain song that played the motif, it's sort of haunting, beautiful, menacing music that plays occasionally, is really well done.
Okay,
I like it.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from, not liking the high fantasy thing, because it does feel over pretentious, and some of
pretentious.
Pretentious is when it's like way too important for its own good, or it pretends to be more important. Portentous is when it's way too grim and important for its own good. So yeah, but I do get the two terminologies wrong. But yeah, oddly enough, a lot of the high fantasy that Brayton is mentioning, that's one of the problems I had against the Game of Thrones TV version. I love the books. I've read the books. It's like, it really feels like a neat little historical drama that happens to take place in a fantasy world. whereas the TV show was way too portentous for its own good. But I think
Yeah, it's all a matter of tone with me. You know, you
Yeah,
can be as fanciful as you want, but it's the self-serious dramatic
Yes.
side of things that when it insists upon its own seriousness that I check out.
Yeah, and I was going to say, connected to your comment, the self-seriousness, portentous and pretentious can both easily fit in that same category along with a lot of these fantasy films. Is that why you're a way bigger fan of Harry Potter than we two? Because it doesn't take itself that seriously?
What do you mean? I love Harry Potter.
Okay. Well, okay, then all right.
You're the odd man out, Raph.
Fuck Harry Potter. So
Yeah, Mr. Goblin troll lover over here who hates children.
No, I just hate overblown children's movies. But anyways, but no, is that why you're a little you two are way more? No, Brayton is you're more forgiving.
The cute one.
You're both adorable compared to me.
I know.
We got the elf, we got the Hobbit, and we have the fucking rock giant here who can barely shave. So I got a beard. Anyway, oh my god, I'm a dwarf. Damn it! Get in there, burglar. Burgle something for me. Ah. Yes. Anyways, but no, Brayton, is that why you're more forgiving of Harry Potter than I am? Because it doesn't take itself so seriously as...
At least the first 2.5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I like as far as Harry Potter taking itself very, and I get it for the way that the direction of the story moves, but it's just and when it comes to my personal taste in these type of movies, yeah, I prefer the lighter side of things, and the first, especially the first one, the chamber or not, no, that's the second one, the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, whatever they call it, yeah, that's more my style. And I think there's plenty of fantasy elements in Harry Potter. So I don't get your complaints about staying inside the wizarding school and focusing on tiny details like where they poop, Raph.
No, well, okay, that's... No. That's just a recurring complaint that, I don't mind overly magical worlds, but with Harry Potter, it just seems way too overly magical. Hence the reason, don't you guys have normal plumbing? It seems like this is a world where you can't deliver... Like, I understand delivering mail by owls. That's totally cool. But does the mail...
But I draw the line at shitting.
No, okay, it's cool enough that you have magical owls that can act as mail delivery carriers. But does the mail itself have to suddenly come to life and scream at people in a poorly done CGI? It just seems a little too much for my taste.
When the fuck did that happen?
With that one kid's mom.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you used magic outside.
So yeah,
I remember that.
It just seems a little extreme, like Star Wars characters who can't brush their teeth without using the Force.
Oh, but you like the basilisk, don't you?
That was a cool looking basilisk, but that's the thing I have about Harry Potter. Like, there's elements I like about it, but it also feels like it's overly magical, but at the same time it's a world that seems to underpin or undo a lot of its own. Like, you hear hints of a cooler fantasy world out there, but we spend way too much time focusing on minor things here and there. And I know the movies do it way worse than the books. The books at least help you flesh out the world way better, whereas the movies, it's like, oh, there's like really cool things happening over there. But no, let's just tone it down a bit to this little adventure in a high school. So, but enough about Harry Potter. With that said, though, damn it, what was the point? Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming at, Brayton. Like, sometimes this fantasy stuff does get a little too extreme for its own good. Now to read some of the comments. Hey, Raph, for the future reference, you can just call me Shay. All right, Goji Shay 1991. I wish I'll do that to make things easier on myself.
Or you can call him the Shayster.
Ah, nice, better. Hey, Shayster. Oh, you don't like nicknames, Bray Bray?
No.
Okay, sorry about that. I know how much you hate that, although me and the KaijuNoir Meister here definitely loves that. I almost tripped over my own tongue there. So, Jim Baltasari says, did any of you guys see the movie Dragon Slayer, the movie with the coolest dragon ever? Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've seen Dragon Slayer, It is a kind of a depressing movie, even by 1980s fantasy standards. But yeah, the dragon in there is definitely one of the best looking versions of that creature put to cinema ever done. So you haven't seen it, you just said, right, Andres?
Right, never seen it.
Okay, what about you, Brayton?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's okay. It has Peter McNichols as the lead hero.
Oh my god.
It is
From
bingo!
Sophie's Choice. Is Meryl Streep the dragon? She's got range.
I know, and she can breathe fire. That's how she gets an Academy Award every year. She just attacks the village of all the movie critics and
Threatens the foreign press.
exactly. So my acting is like death. I'm gonna drink.
Have a look, won't you? Rub my belly.
Just Photoshop him in with Jeff Goldblum laying like that.
Oh my god, the horrible things we could do tonight. Okay, so
Okay, they're all demanding that you call them by whatever they choose. Refuse your audience. They have too much power.
Yeah, Jim Baltasari says, please call me Jim, by the way. Okay, Jim, by the way. I'll call you that from now on, Jim, by the way. So, you all get
Jim BTW.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay, I think we're done with the comments.
It was an adventure.
Indeed. So before we end the night, can we do a fun little 10-minute experiment with you guys?
Do I get to keep my clothes on?
Yes.
Please say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's cold here. I don't want to be cold.
Right. Oh, how is it over there? Since you are in the coldest.
Cold. Currently, it's not so bad right now. It has been down in single digits last week, but now it's let me check my thing here. Okay, so it's 21 degrees outside, feels like 13. Which is better than, 4, which it was last week.
Okay, I'm good to hear that. So yeah, because even knowing that my family kind of has arthritis running through our bones, literally, yeah, no, you got it way worse. I would have suffered if I was in your region.
I've got arthritis running through everywhere.
It's in my hair. Oh, my hair hurts. Why is my hair so cold?
I'm brittle. I'm gonna blow away in the wind and into dust. Right.
No. Okay, so considering how short The Hobbit was, I wanted to kind of...
He was. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a Hobbit.
Unintended pun. Ding! Ow, my fingers. No, I was wondering, because originally I thought, hey, maybe we can watch some short Hobbit-related features beforehand. But I think it was. But since we were talking so much in the pre-show, I think it was better to get into the movie itself. But before we end tonight, I was wondering if you guys would indulge me, and we check out the very obscure 1967 animated short film based on The Hobbit, which is not only considered the first film adaptation of The Hobbit, but was also highly inaccurate and done on the quick just so that the holders of the short could keep the copyright. So basically, it's the Hobbit equivalent of of Roger Corman's Fantastic Four movie. They ran away. Get them! Go, my goblins! Catch the KaijuNoir and Brayton. I can't do the song.
Remember when he fell down the hole?
It's all my characters riding on the back of giant nippos, and you two are hiding in the trees. And then Wind comes back on an eagle. I'll help you, yay! Oh my goodness. So is that a no?
We'll let you decide, Ralph.
You're the holder of our destiny.
Okay, Jim says I'm game.
No, I thought he was Jim B2W. Now he wants to be called the Game.
Yeah. And Doomzilla is like triple question
He's the
mark.
Riddler.
Yeah. No, I think maybe there'll be a good, because once you see the short film, you'll realize what you thought the Peter Jackson version was bad. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So
Didn't the Cinema Snob cover this at one point?
no, I think that's the Ralph Bashki version. So all right, but I shared it in the links section. It's only like 12 minutes long. So, but it's a
Okay.
it's a highly inaccurate trip, and I think it's a great way to end tonight.
Okay.
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 So are you on 00, everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And everyone, you can watch the short film. It's officially available on YouTube. You can check the link. It is the 1967 short film. But yeah, if you've never seen this, it's like, what the hell were they thinking?
So the unofficial film is officially available,
so to speak. And like I said, it was done under the same, if ridiculously suspect circumstances that the Roger Corman Fantastic Four was made, complete with a dime theater showing it for like a half an hour. That's how they were able to justify its existence as an actual movie. So, okay, we are on 00. Okay, let me change the title card to know we're going to be watching this Drek.
I
Okay.
didn't prepare a title card for this one.
Yeah, oh, that's okay. That's okay. This was a last minute thing, too. We got Slag the Dragon on the screen. I'm not mispronouncing Smog.
Okay. It's Sliaug the Dragon.
You'll
Just
see,
do it.
Brayton.
Just
Okay,
do it.
so 3, 2, 1, play.
This was Dale, the city of golden bells, in the time of Middle-earth, before men came to power and ruined magic forever. And this is the Arkenstone of old.
A Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon set in the Holocaust or something?
The central treasure of all the vast treasures of this golden realm.
Oh.
Suddenly, it was all destroyed by the monster lizard Slag the Terrible. Slag, the agent of evil on Earth. And he dragged off the treasures of Dale, even the Arkenstone itself. Only 3 survived the flames. A watchman who slept when the dragon came creeping. Torin Oakenshield, general of the now-destroyed garrison of Dale. And Princess Mika Milovana, who sadly watched the crumbling ashes of her once golden realm. Gandalf, whispered General Oakenshield. Only the great wizard Gandalf can help us now.
Oh no, not the Snyder cut of The Hobbit.
Oh, great, Adolf.
An ass.
Ragged and weary survivors of Dale, the burned city of golden bells, came to the lonely tower of Gandalf the Grey. So it has come to pass, said the great wizard,
Gandalf
that
the
Dale
Blue.
has been destroyed by Slag, and that he nests on the treasure in the carved halls under Lonely
Well, you
Mountain.
can't use that. That's an inappropriate term in the UK.
Then it is clear that the time has come. The time of the Hobbit. Far away from all the troubles of dragons and treasure lived a certain hobbit. Like all hobbits, he lived in a hole in the ground. It was a very comfortable hole, full of everything needed for a
Apartment
cozy,
22.
secure life. A far different sort of
What was
life
that cartoon you and I
from
watched that we
the
really
great
liked that
grand.
looked kind of like this, Ref?
This settled and satisfied
Twice
Hobbit.
Upon a Time.
But they moved in that one.
Mm-hmm. Twice
He
Upon a
didn't
Time, I think.
know that his
That's
time
it.
had come.
Hobbit and Garden.
All at once they were there, eating his food, shouting for more, filling the air with terrifying words about dragons, fire, stolen gold.
These are the sketches of a child psychopath.
I don't know what you are all talking about, cried Bilbo Baggins. We are talking about you, said the wizard Gandalf.
Willis.
You are the chosen dragon killer. You shall
There's a
lead this
donut
group
stuck in
over
his
the
beard.
impassable barricade mountains, through the
How
impenetrable
embarrassing.
Mirkwood forest, across the poisonous desolation of Slag, to Lonely Mountain itself, wherein the horrid creature lies. You must creep into the deepest great chamber of the old jewel mines of Dale and kill the fire-spitting dragon Slag. A fascinating story, said the small hobbit. And now, if you have all finished your breakfasts, it's been a great pleasure to meet you, and I wish you lots of luck and all speed. But it is written.
That sounds like something Martin Freeman would say.
We cannot go without
He
you.
talks like Martin Freeman. He looks like Frankie Avalon.
Leave that old dragon be. The princess was furious and impatient with all this talk. Mr. Baggins, she shouted.
I wonder if they added this princess character because they realized the original story was quite the sausage party.
To ashes, my golden land of Dale. Now he sits on our treasures and waits his time to strike other lands, maybe even here. If you are all afraid, then I shall go alone. Bilbo was shocked. He shouted at Gandalf, but this is crazy. She's only a child. You can't let her face this journey, that dragon, alone. Correct.
She can't do it. She's a woman.
I'm glad you see it at last, dear Bilbo. You can start first thing in the morning.
Go pilot the Ava, Bilbo, or Ray will do it.
And so they set out to follow the ancient map.
But Ray is just a clone. Oops, spoiler.
Behind and carrying barely enough food for the usual.
Kinda, sorta, not really. I don't know.
Genetically engineered homunculi?
And the three survivors of Dale struggled across the great barricades. Gandalf the Grey watched from his
Gandalf's a conehead.
Knew well what terror waited along this
Got a pointed noggin.
We are from France.
cabin
Oh,
burned with
God.
stolen lamb and groans.
Is that blood or fire?
With skin as thick as bone.
It's been skewered.
But people meat is their favorite food. The legends say that groans must be in their caves before sunrise, or they'll
Groan?
turn into dry
I guess that's what happened when a troll and
Ground?
get it on.
What were trolls copyrighted?
This puny lamb would serve only as an appetizer.
Like slag?
As the unsuspecting travelers approached. The smell of roasting lamb was too much for the starving hobbit. But the others being hungry and knocked them into a howler. In no time at all, the three were tied to
Idiots! You had one job!
But the second groan was angry that the first had burned the lamb and demanded that the new victim should be boiled instead of roasted. The first groan furiously knocked the spit from the flames and shouted that the second should be happy to have people flesh at all. Now the hobbit saw that he might save the others if he could just keep the brutish groans fighting among themselves. He was a good mimic, and he hoped the hollow log would amplify his small voice. The second groan's lips didn't move, but his voice seemed to shout, "No stupid ape like you can tell me how to eat my food." "Who are you calling stupid, you ugly knothead?" roared the first. Soon the dull-witted groans forgot all about their
It's like War of the Gargantuas.
killed one another. They fought and cursed
Concept arts.
until the first rays of the sun caught them by surprise. Bilbo had tricked them, and now they would be rooted to this spot forever. 2 less groans and 2 more gnarled dead trees.
Oh, I think we're far from ending the groans here, sir.
As they moved forward again across the great barricades, the survivors had a new opinion of their small hobbit dragon slayer. Perhaps he might prove useful after all, thought Torrin Oakenshield. Then, suddenly, Bilbo was gone. Down through a crevasse, a soundless scream as the
Oh,
others
jeez.
down past the chewed rock
Down,
tunnels of
down
the
to
hateful
wherever
gravel,
this town.
kill and eat only for spite.
Kermit?
Down to the roots of the mountain.
Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho.
Hey-oh.
None but
Hey, Miss Piggy.
gloom.
That was Barney.
Unremembered years
Was
before,
Miss Piggy
a
Smog
weak and rejected
or Slag?
creature found what Gandalf the Grey still seeks, the one ring of power. He had crept into the inky depths to hide it here on this black isle where the hobbit had now fallen.
Hi,
And he
folks.
had
Down
found
to the
the
depths,
ring
the inky
alone,
blinky
and walked
depths.
so long that he could speak only to his miserable self, Gloom.
Oh.
What horrid little nasty has come to steal our ring, my precious?
Now
He
this
must
guy really does look like
squeeze
Brother
into
Theodore.
your eyes, yes.
Identical.
Yes.
Dearest ring, Gloom. Bilbo did have the ring. Magically, the one ring of power had found its true bearer. It was Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo only had 4
He
fingers.
felt the ring's power that it might help
His
him
golem
against
ate
the
him
dragon
ahead of time.
Slag. Bilbo made a mighty leap on his broad hobbit feet,
Ah.
clear to the shore, and darted up the nearest tunnel as fast as he could go. We must catch the tricksy thief before it reaches the outside. And the wretched thing waddled right past Bilbo, who of course didn't know the way out, but who guessed that Gollum did. And Gollum led him through the only tunnel unknown to the evil grabblers.
These are your
and
intestines.
directly into the blessed sunlight.
Enjoy.
So Bilbo was
This
able
is what the
to join
inside
his
of a hobbit hole
companions
looks
across
like.
the top of the mountain.
Down,
And they
down.
faced together the next obstacle on their long journey, Mirkwood Forest.
Shown
Entering
here.
Mirkwood was like plunging into a sea of trees and being unable to come up for air. An eternal, endless forest.
To quote
whose
Doomzilla,
mists were as
wow, just
poisonous
wow.
as its
Oh,
vegetation.
I mean, we got 2 minutes. They better make this quick.
They were starved and exhausted, but they pushed on, compulsively determined to bring themselves to the most hideous danger of all. Lonely Mountain, wherein lay the killer dragon Slag. There he lay, the vast,
Probably like your
red-gold
French girl.
dragon, fast asleep.
I mean, he is called Slag for a reason.
Oh.
Ironically, Slag had dragged these same jewels from the treasury of the golden city he destroyed.
Slag dragged, but he don't like to brag because he's
As Bilbo
A hag.
watched this
Yeah.
stupendous scene of both beauty and
his tail
ugliness,
does wag.
his feelings too were a swirling mixture of
Thousands of
exhilaration.
Japanese
And his clothes are rags.
Out of this staggering panorama of
Wait, which one is the dragon? I see 2 things.
Arkenstone.
Oh God.
Arkenstone of Dale. Now the tiny hobbit knew exactly how this lizard must die. It was the bravest thing he had ever done. Certainly braver than anything the comfort-loving squire of Hobbiton ever would have imagined he could do. Perhaps it was only the power of the ring he wore. Perhaps it was his growing love for the Princess Mika. Or maybe it
What?
was only that he knew that someone had to do it.
Minka,
But
I
he
love
did
her.
it. He climbed the diamond vest of the slumbering dragon and he stole the Arkenstone. Together with the others, he fashioned a powerful crossbow from
Oh, come on.
and the Arkenstone. The
Sinbad's
white
like,
heart
you
of
stole
Dale,
that.
was the arrowhead destined for the black heart of Slag.
Slag performed by Fay Ray.
You thought Richard Boone was a bad
And
dragon.
the city of Golden Bells was built again, and Bilbo and Mika reigned there together. But finally they returned to that quiet, comfortable life in Hobbiton. Until the next time that Gandalf the Grey would knock upon the round, green door.
Well, I think that was my middle school book report when I did read The Hobbit the one time.
Nick, just like your contributions to tonight's stream.
Tonight, yes, that's how it happened.
So Brayton, will you tell? You read the book. Can you tell us what happened at the end?
The shot a thing at Slaggy. The Slaggy dog.
Damn it! Go sit in a corner, and also you get an A because I didn't read it either. So. Oh my god. There's always something worse, isn't there, gentlemen?
Yeah, the Raffenshomme motto always end on a down note. We were riding high, now we're sinking low.
Oh come on, it wasn't. Oh, who am I?
Sinking low, low, low. Yeah, the comments here say it all. Wow, just wow, wow. He got some swag. Well, that was something.
If my anxiety had a physical form, it'd look like this version of Gollum.
Laura Ficken says, "Is that Rocking the Bullwinkle mouse crossover comic?" Oh my god, that's a scary reference. So, let's see here. Oh yeah, Jim brought up the point that Gene Ditch, who
Jim BTW.
yes, yeah, Gene Ditch, he did the latter era Tom and Jerry cartoons. AKA
What
weird
the
ones.
fuck was that, Ralph?
Tommy and Gerald.
I said No, I said Tommy and Jerry. Okay, I'm sorry, Tom and Jerry cartoons. You know, the weird ones that were done in foreign countries.
Yeah, with the mouse and the duck, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
And the dog man.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, they got freaked out.
Everybody hated that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But still, it's just an interesting compare and contrast to just how.
No, sure.
Yeah, just how bad this can get. So.
That was a picture show.
So yeah, we all remember Princess Minka from the original Hobbit, and J.R. Tolkien's wide variety of female characters like woman and girly girl and belladonna Tuki Tuk.
Take back your Minka.
Did Bilbo ever got married in the original books?
No, he stayed single the whole way through.
He
So
was a simp for life.
oh my god, yeah, there's barely any female characters in the freaking world. Well, the Silmarillion. I'm too tired to say it correctly.
Too many dwarves and wizards in one hobbit hole at one time.
Keep it classy,
Are
Bryson.
you okay?
No, Raph, you are not allowed to say that.
What?
I'm just making observations.
What? Keep it classy, Brayton.
Yes, you're not allowed to say that, Raph. You're the last person to ever say that.
I'm just making observations on the source material. I wouldn't draw that.
Okay. All right, so plug time, suckers.
Plug your
Primal
hobbit hole.
Primal Warrior Draco Azul. Get it now on Amazon, Comixology, and Kindle. Issues 1 and 2 available, as well as the anthology book, Full Metal Chronicles. Issue 3 should be done at least by the end of this month or early January next month. Also look forward to the Draco Azul novel if and when it ever comes out. So until then, you can follow me on Twitter at PW_Draco Azul, at Instagram and YouTube at KaijuNoir, and on Facebook at the Primal Warrior Draco Azul Facebook page.
Okay. Brayton, do you want to advertise your wonderful Mystery Science Theater show?
Sure. It's there. There'll be a third one eventually, hopefully before my birthday.
Okay. Or
That's because on my birthday, Weatherman Science Theater drops, and they're releasing their thing, so hopefully we can beat the punch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our first two are there, as well as our first 2 episodes of Up Mill Creek without a paddle. And we may be doing a Christmas thing on Andres' thing.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, you're on my channel, so we'll just go ahead and
I'm on your
around.
channel right now.
Yes. So now I'm talking to the audience. Yeah, you're on my channel, so go around, look around, and see some of the stuff we've done. I don't know if we're going to do an episode of Pull the Ultra Trigger tomorrow, since now that Andres has his Christmas plans coming up and I got to finish something, a big commission for him. Maybe we'll push it back and just do a week of just multiple Pull the Ultra Triggers on different days. Especially since you'll be doing quarantine when you get back here. So, okay, that's not a bad idea. Like, 3 episodes of Ultra Trigger throughout the week. Never mind, that sounds terrifying. What was I thinking? Oh my god, this show's a crap fest.
And to answer Laura's question, what would I do if it comes out? I would let you know. That's what would happen if it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Jim says, "Oh God, did Raph just die with a wheeze?"
Yeah, someone left the Raph on the stove. Quack.
All right. Okay, so Laura, Nick, Doomzilla, Jim, Adrian. Oh God, everybody who showed up here. If I forgot you, sorry. Oh, and Warrior King too. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your company.
Why is it always on? Laura says, "Why is it always Andres' fault when you don't want to do it?"
Oh no, Andres. Without you, the show would be way less fun to do. So, but
So there you go, blaming me for everything.
in a positive light, my friend.
I always got to be the reason for everything you do.
It's your damn fault Christmas and candy exists. God damn you, and everything wonderful you do. Oh, angels and puppy dogs. Damn it, Andres. Why did you bring them into the universe? I ask so lovingly. Damn it. Okay, but no, thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you everyone listening in the future. We hope you enjoyed this live watch, and I would definitely be doing way more of these throughout 2022. Before we leave, though, how's this year been for you guys?
Tolerable.
Horrible?
Tolerable.
Tolerable, okay. Yeah, it's been tolerable. A lot better than 2020 was for me.
I feel like the last 2 years have been one long year.
Yeah, that is true. The days just glue together, so... but with that said...
Speaking of which, you can listen to the Glue podcast on my channel is my segue.
Damn it, Brayton, I wasn't gonna do it. You suck. You're not like Andres.
You're horrible at promoting your own things.
When Andres fails, rainbows and plesiosaurs come jumping out of the ocean made of cream soda. You're shit. No, it's again. I love you too, buddy. So. Okay, as you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, I'm losing it. So we got to end this. We got to end this podcast quick. Okay, but no, Brayton, Andres, in all seriousness, thank you so much. You know, these 2 years have been an unfortunate drag, but your presence and talking to you guys as friends online and doing these fun little shows has definitely kept my spirits up. And I hope, despite some of the problems of me, I hope, in a sense, hanging out with me has kind of improved. Never mind. So we're going to stop that train of thought right now. Okay, so, and thank you very much, Wynn, for joining us earlier. Again, my friends, I seriously mean all my friends, both in the comments and who I'm talking to right now. You have definitely kept my mental health positive and in check, and I do appreciate it. And it's fun sharing these movies and introducing these movies with you, even if we have to kind of skirt around the weird copyright situations of YouTube. Like this channel, I don't monetize it at all, which gives me a little more freedom than, say, a monetized channel does. But yeah, if you guys can just support me with views and likes and even visit the Patreon, that's more than appreciated. But other than that, thank you so much. I honestly do mean it. Like, Merry Christmas to all of us. Merry Christmas to all of you. It meant a lot to me. You guys gave me the Christmas gift for hanging out here. And I do honestly, sincerely mean it. So,
Raph,
yeah?
You are a silly, wonderful man.
Thank you, Brayton. I know you hate hugs, but you're getting a mental hug right now, so which is just
he's touching me
with my mind.
You are.
Thank you. I'll take that. There is an R in my name, so that doesn't.
And no one is you like you.
Indeed.
Are.
I'll give you a piece of paper before I leave. I leave the U.S. You are Raph Gonzalez.
It just cuts to my animated Rankin Bass face crying up like, ooh. Okay, but no, seriously, thank you so much. You guys, my viewers and my friends, you've definitely made this year way more bearable than it is. And it's nice to know that as weird and as strange and as off-putting it can get, it's still wonderful to be appreciated, loved, and to just enjoy. Like I said, one of the things I love most is watching movies with friends and family and acquaintances and sharing movies we both haven't seen to each other. A movie exchange, if you will. Right, Mr. Brayton? Huh?
I think you supplied both gifts tonight, and one was far more pleasurable than the other.
You got it when you get it.
But you gave us a receipt with the second one in case it doesn't fit, right?
Yes, exactly. So good way to spin that one. So, all right. So, Jim, here's hoping to adventure in Dinosaur City live watch. Weird. Yeah, everyone's suddenly all obsessed with that movie. Warrior King says, "Happy Christmas and Happy New Year's, everyone." And Jim says, "Have a safe holiday, everybody." Doomzilla says, "Till next time, peace." And Goji Shay, "Till next time, guys. This was a fun stream." So yeah, thank you everybody. I'm gonna play this wonderful outro song that Brayton put together for us, and that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
You and your town shall pay dearly for this intrusion.